Namaste. Thank you so much for joining today. Hopefully this works this time. I apologize, I've been having a lot of problems with live streaming lately on Facebook, but hopefully this one will go. So if not, I'll post the video later on. As always, please practice according to your condition, respect your limitations, and remember the path. This is an offering. How you feel is to an extent affecting everybody, so try to feel good in the practice and deliver the best experience. So on that note, let's begin. Tip my camera up a little bit. Okay, so now let's sit up tall and still. Close the eyes. Bring the attention inward. Before creation, what existed? God was always there in the midst of it all, and will still be there even beyond the ends of this universe. Attune to that supreme divine consciousness now. Let's begin with the sound of Om 3 times to attract divine attention. Imagine you are everywhere. Fix your mind on God alone. Rest your thoughts in God alone. And in God you will live hereafter. Of this there is no doubt. I bow to your light. May all beings everywhere be happy and free from suffering and enjoy this practice to our senses. May we always have a strong desire for the knowledge that liberates us from pain and suffering. And may we cherish no ill feelings against each other, only peace, love, joy, and compassion. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Let's start off with alternate nostril breathing. With the breath retention, we'll do it Nadi Shivananda style, so that the inhales and exhales are roughly the same duration, and the hold is the breath retention as long as you can hold it comfortably. So don't go to the point where you can't, it's a big explosion when you breathe out. It should be a steady, controlled exhale, just like the inhale. Left hand in Yana Mudra, second finger and thumb connected, other three fingers extended on the left knee. Right hand, second and third fingers fold down. This is Vishnu Mudra. When you turn a palm towards you, it's no longer Vishnu Mudra, it becomes a mudra used for pranayama. Right thumb for the right nostril, right ring finger for the left. So we'll start together and then we'll let you go on your own. Sit up tall and straight. Thumb for the right nostril, right ring finger for the left nostril. So exhale completely, empty the lungs. Now close off the right side, inhale through the left. Raise the chest for the lungs, hold the breath, plug both sides of the nose, thumb and a right ring finger, remember, plugging the nose, engage the throat in a root lock. Contract all the muscles of the root, pull them up towards the navel, chin on the chest, tongue to the roof of the mouth behind the teeth. All the attention at the space between the eyebrows. Exhale out through the right side. Inhale through the right once you're completely empty. Fill up completely, raise the chest, and then hold the breath again. Plug the nose, chin on the chest. Keep your back straight. When you bring your chest up, this is what helps keep the backs from hunching. All the attention at the space between the eyebrows. Settle your mind into stillness. Exhale out through the left side. Pretend you held it as long as you could. Again, inhale through the left side. Hold the breath, contract again the root muscles, the throat muscles by the throat in a root lock. Mula Bandha, Jalandhara Bandha. Everything stops, all the mind fluctuations, the body movements and emotions as though they're frozen. Slowly exhale to the right. Push all the air out in an even way, nice and steady. Inhale again through the right. Hold the breath, third eye attention. If your mind starts to wander, have no concern, have no judgment. Just do your best. Just pull your mind back to the exercise. Exhale out through the left side. Do a few more rounds on your own, just to get the gist of it. This is just a taste of it. You have to do it at least 12 rounds in order to feel the benefits. Aim for those 12 cycles at the beginning, and then gradually you can build your pranayama practice. You can increase the length, you can increase the hold of the breath. Ensuring that you hold the breath long enough. Sometimes it might come into a place of discomfort. Try to keep the mind calm, regardless, unchanging. It helps you to keep control of the mind and the emotions when you're experiencing your day-to-day life as well, when you're running into challenges and difficulties. Remain like the witness, undisturbed, unfazed, immutable, just like the highest self that's within. Next time you exhale out of your left side, conclude. Don't shortchange the breath retention. Once you're done, sit quietly. Prepare for the practice. Through the practice, we try to merge with the divine that is within all beings, equally present in all beings. And so now let's begin. Let's come to standing. Okay, so start off with some warm-ups just to prepare the body for the practice. So now just swing from one side to the other. Try to see all the way around you. Arms hitting the body, every which way. Feel as though the arms are heavy weights. And then bring your hands on the hips. Circle the head, making large circles as possible. The ears touching the shoulders, the chin coming onto the chest, the back of the head to the top of the back. And then change the direction of rotation. Good. And now swing the right arm forward. Loosen up the shoulder joint. And go the other way. Make as though you're winding up to throw a ball. And then the other arm, left arm, circles forward. And then go backwards. Now shake out the wrists, move the fingers very, very rapidly. All directions. You can make circles if you like. Flap your fingers like the wings of a hummingbird. So fast you can't even see them move. Again, no control of the hands. Good. Now take hold of the opposite elbows. And then bend to your left. Pulse a little bit. Try to get a little bit deeper into the stretch. Come up. Go to the other side. Try to do this without making folds in the underside of the body at the waist. Come up, go to the left again. And go to the right. Go to the left and right, back and forth. And then coming up. And now take the arms out to the side, swing the right leg back and forth. You can always put your left hand on the wall if you like. Lean forward, try to get your knee right to the shoulder. Feel as though the leg were like a pendulum that went out of control. And then the other leg, be careful of your toes, try not to jam the toe into the ground. and then release. So bring your feet together, the arms by sides of the body. Inhale, sweep the arms up, lift up off the heels. Exhale, come down gracefully. Feel the arms moving by themselves. Inhale, come up, push in to reach your toes, engage your leg muscles in the core. Exhale, back down. Inhale, rise up off the heels. Exhale, come down. Good, one more. Inhale, come up. Exhale, down. Bring your head back down in humility pose. Stay in this mindset of humility throughout the practice. Renounce all the fruits and just imagine this as your divine duty to all beings everywhere. Do it because it must be done. Now let's come to the front of the mat, hands to the heart. Surya Namaskara. Imagine we're all together physically, moving like a school of fish. Raise your arms up over the head, arch back as you see fit. Fold the body down onto your legs. Bend your knees if you need to, the chest on your thighs, the head down, and the hands on the ground. Right foot back, lower down the knee, drop down to the seat. Come into the high plank, lower the knees down, bring the seat all the way back behind the heels. Glide forward, brush the nose to the ground, coming up into the cobra. Take the seat all the way back again. Come forward, gliding smoothly like a snake gripping through the grass. One more time, take the seat back. And then come forward. Pull at the floor, so you're trying to pull the floor towards you to propel yourself forward with more power and ease. Take the head back. Adho Mukha Savasana. Lift the seat up, bring the head down below the arms. Right foot steps forward. If you need to, you can lower the back knee down. If the foot doesn't make it all the way, just use your right hand to assist the foot forward. Push the seat in. And then the feet together, chest on the thighs, head down. Come right up to standing, arch back. And then come back home, hands to the heart. Go up and back again. Hinge forward, fold the body in half. Left foot back, drop down to the knee in the seat. Into the plank, the knees down, the seat all the way back. Come forward again. Bhujangasana. Uncoil like a serpent. Imagine having that boundless range of motion. Come back again, and then slide forward, be regal and wise like the serpent. Copy the teacher, which is at any given point, whatever you're representing, that is your teacher. Copy them on all levels, spiritually. Just try to tap into the divine qualities. Into Adho Mukha Savasana. Lift the feet till the head comes down. Left foot steps forward to the hands softly. Feet together, Uttanasana. Bow down as though in humbleness. Come right up to standing. Reach up and back. And then come back home, hands to the heart. Raise your arms up. Go forward and down. Right foot back. Drop down to the seat. Into the plank. Lower the knees down, the seat back. This time as you come forward, when the hips between the hands, lift the hips and knees away from the ground. Upward facing dog. Back into downward facing dog. Melt the heart. Right foot steps forward. Feet together, Uttanasana, chest on the thighs. Come right up to standing. And then back home, hands to the heart. Don't worry about the breath, just move the body in a way that allows the breath to remain steady and even. The breath will figure it out and deliver even more grace and fluidity and power. Left foot back into the plank. Down we go, the seat's back. Come forward again. Lift the hips, knees off the ground if you can. Upward facing dog. And then downward facing dog. Move according to your condition as always. Left foot forward. Feet together, Uttanasana. Come up. And then return. Pranamasana. Always coming back to the source of divine life. Reach up. And go down. This time the right foot back, keep the back knee lifted. Keep the back knee pressing up. Legs strong. Into plank. Lower down in one line from heel to the top of the head, into chaturanga or right onto the belly. If you can, into upward facing dog. Now here, bend the toes under, and then see if you can Make like a dog howling at the moon. Pulse a little bit. Bring your shoulders back, the nose up. Imagine trying to fold the body in half, but keep the lower back for your wrinkles if you can, and back of the neck. Now push into your toes, lift your seat. Bring the head down below the arms, downward facing dog. Pulse here. Try to get your head to the ground below the arms. Maybe the chest comes lower, the belly comes to your thighs. Look like a dog stretching its back. And imitate the loyalty of the dog to its master. Now, right foot steps forward, back knee stays lifted. Feet together, Uttanasana, chest on the thighs again. Come right up. And then return, Pranamasana. Reach up and back. Hips forward, engage the buttocks and upper back to support you in movement. Uttanasana. Left foot back, back knee stays lifted, back leg strong. Into the plank. Again, chaturanga. Coming down or coming down onto your belly. Into upward facing dog. Now transitioning to upward and downward. Around your back. Push your heart between your shoulder blades and then down towards the ground and downward facing dog. Coming forward immediately. 2 more times. Rounding your back. Push your heart right through the center of the chest. Back the other way. Push into the knuckle toes and then roll all the way back. And then 1 more time. Come forward if you have it in you. And then right into upward facing dog. Chest wide open. Heart open in every sense. Back the other way. Push into your knuckle toes. Back into Adho Mukha Savasana. And then left foot steps forward. Back leg, again, very strong and straight. Back with your feet together, Uttanasana. Bow down. Come up, Hasta Uttanasana. And then come back home, hands to the heart. Another variation, raise your arms up. Go forward and down. As you come down, bend your knees, land your belly on your thighs. Join your hands behind the back. Pull the hands over your shoulders, maybe even in front of your head. If you're very flexible, your seat over your heels, your legs straight. Then glue the front of the body against the legs, forehead to the shins. Now from here, look up, the right foot back. Hold your breath. And so the foot comes down softly. Swing your arms up over the head. Kapiyasana, pull your arms all the way back. Index fingers over the toes. And then coming right back, hands down. You can either come into plank or if you can, right into Adho Mukha Savasana, Ekapada Adho Mukha Savasana. Left leg comes up. Keep your leg up as you come into high plank. And then pull the elbows inside your body so you can get your chest down first. If you need to, you can roll your knee at the same time. The chest comes down, the toes come down as well. Then into upward facing dog. Roll back into downward facing dog. The right leg comes up again, smoothly. Step the foot between the hands, ever so quietly. Shoulders over the fingertips so the foot lands lightly. All the way back, Kapiyasana. And then bring the feet back together. Swing your hands behind the back, join the belly to your thighs, and the arms go over your head. Come right up into standing salutes. Hands back to the heart. Good. Oh man, okay, so sorry about this. Give me 1 second, I have to. All right. And then again, other side. Raise your arms up, arch back. Come forward and down, bend your knees again, belly on your thighs. Join the hands behind the back, the forehead to the shins, if you can. And then from here, hold your breath, left foot back. Flatten out the toes, right into Kapiyasana. If you can do it without touching your fingers to the ground, do so. Pull your arms back, radiate your inner light. And then come back out of the pose. Hands down and sweep the right leg all the way up and back if you can, or just come into high plank. Come forward now. From Ekapada Adho Mukha Savasana, come forward to high plank if you're doing that variation. Come down, either chaturanga or your chest comes down first, and when the chest comes down, the right foot meets the left. Into upward facing dog. Roll back into downward facing dog. Left foot comes all the way up and back, and step the foot between the hands. Back knee down, flatten out the toes, sweep your arms up over the head, arch back. And then bring your belly onto your thighs, swing your hands back behind the back. The right foot comes in to meet the left. Uttanasana. Come all the way up to standing, reach up and back. And come back home. One more like that. Move a little bit faster. Raise your arms up, shoulders behind your ears. Fold forward, bend your knees, land your belly on your thighs. Uttanasana. Hold your breath. Weight on your left foot so the right foot comes back easily. Right into Kapyasana. Connect all the movements seamlessly like you're doing a divine dance of devotion. Left leg comes all the way up into Ekapada and then come forward into high plank. Lower the chest down. You remember you can modify by doing just your plank and onto your belly and into Cobra. Otherwise, upward facing dog through to downward facing dog. Raise our right leg up. Send your shoulders over the fingertips so the foot lands ever so quietly. Back knee down and curl the toes, Kapyasana. And then bring your belly onto your thighs. Swing your hands behind the back. Join your feet together, Uttanasana. Bow down in own humbleness. Come right up. Arch back. Hands back to the heart one last time. Raise your arms up. Good. Remain undisturbed no matter what happens. Keep dancing with whatever comes your way. Pull the arms over the head. Look forward. Bring your weight onto your right foot so your left foot comes back and curl the toes into Kapyasana. Pull your arms way back behind the head. And then bring your hands down into plank or Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Raise your right leg up. And if you're doing that version, come forward to high plank. Lower down again your chest between your hands. Right through into upward facing dog or Cobra Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left leg comes up. Merges the forms. Be like a shapeshifter moving to your forms with effortlessness. Pull the arms back behind the head, arch back, and then come forward again, belly on your thighs. Swing your hands back, join your hands behind your back, and then they come over your head. As your head comes down, your seat comes up. Right up to standing. Raise your arms up over the head, arch back, and coming back home. Take pause here for a moment. From the center of the chest, the right side of the physical heart, the spiritual heart. Inhale the love from the spiritual heart up to the crown. Hold it there. Imagine the love going into all beings everywhere. Exhale back down to the spiritual heart. Remain established there, for that is where God resides. And release. Good. So let's do some balance poses now. So now we're going to stand on our left foot first. Push down through the left foot, anchor down, bring the right foot up. Try to take hold of the inside of the heel. If you're having trouble balancing, you can stand against the wall. Bring the leg out to the side. Try to have your toes and fingers on the same line. So they might be at the height of the shoulder. If you're more flexible, take the foot up higher toward the shoulder. Lean towards the left so the fingers again stay at the same height as the toes. If you flex your foot, you might be able to keep your balance a little bit better. Then look up if you have the balance. Be magnificent and poised like a dancer. Whatever happens, remain unjudging. Just do your best. Now, engage leg muscles. Hold the breath, see if you can let go of the foot, but try not to allow the foot to drop. So you have to really concentrate on engaging those leg muscles. Good. And now, with control, bring the leg down. Try not to touch the foot to the ground. Right into eagle if you can. If you need to, you can always take your fingertips to the ground. If you can do it without, then by all means, arch the back. Try to get your right foot up higher, point the toes. Imagine you're soaring along the surface of the ocean. Good. Now bring the left hand down in front of your left foot, at least about 16 inches. Turn to the right, Adho Chandrasana. Open up to the right, bring the right foot up higher. If you turn sideways, if you're in the pose in this right alignment, you won't be able to see your toes when you look up. Good. Now bend your left knee and bring the right foot back down, gracefully coming back up. Try it on the other side now. Stepping down on the right foot, anchor in place. Fix your gaze on a point. Sometimes it helps with the balance. Take hold the inside the heel and bring the leg up. Try to straighten the leg. If you can't straighten the leg very easily, your body starts to hunch, you can also hold underneath the knee. So again, do what allows you to come in, realize the posture the best that you can. Again, you can bring your foot up higher, look up. Every posture an offering. Embody all the characteristics of what you're representing. Good. Now from here, again, hold the breath, engage leg muscles, engage the core. Let go of the foot, try not to drop the foot. The trick is to go slow and bring the left foot down. Keep your weight on your left foot, press through the base of the toes, the edges of your feet, the toe pads right into gliding eagle. Take your fingertips to the ground if you need to. Again, pull the left leg up higher. Arch the back. And then bring the right hand down, a good distance from the foot, not too close, so you can fully elongate your trunk. And then open to your left. Take your left arm up, take your left foot up higher. Try to get your chest fully sideways. Hips and shoulders in the same line. Then break the pose, bend the right knee and step back down. Good. So next one, we're going to come forward and down, hinge at the hips, bring your fingertips on the ground, raise your right leg up. And then from here, try to take your left hand to your ankle, index finger along the outside of the heel. Try to get the right leg up higher if you can't. If your hamstrings are tight, you can bend your knee if you need to, but try as much as possible to get your legs straight as possible. Gaze beyond the edges of the toes, and then gradually you can move your right hand in. Maybe your right hand can come onto your foot as well. Index fingers along the outside of the heels or on the inside of the heel. Good. Now from here, walk your hands back out, lift through the chest, bend your knee, and take hold of your left foot, your right foot, your right hand. Bend your left knee, hold your breath, come up into dancer. Keep your body tilted forward, push your foot away, straighten out the left leg, engage the muscles below and above the knee. If you're more flexible, you can maybe take your left hand to your foot, pull the foot in towards the seat, and then push the foot away. Again, arch your back. Move according to your levels and your abilities as always. Now pull the heel in towards the seat. Hands down and relax. Bring the foot back down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Just sag like a ragdoll. Okay, so next, other side. So hinge forward, bring hands on the ground. The right hand can start on the foot right away. The index finger along the outside of the heel. Bring the left leg up as high as you can. Bend your knees if you need to. Good. Try to get eventually your foot in line with the other one. Your belly on your thigh. Bend your knee if you need to, your standing leg. And then slowly walk your left hand towards the foot. Maybe eventually you want to have the edges of your feet anchored down on a standing foot. Eventually you can maybe bring your left hand to your foot as well. Keep trying, don't worry if you don't get it, just do your best. If you fall, just come back up. And now from here, release. Bring your right hand in front a little bit. Bend your knee, take hold of the foot. And push the foot, actually bend your left knee, your right knee, and then start to come up. Hold your breath into dancer. Keep your, you can stay in this form, your body level with the ground, or reach around, pull the foot in towards the seat a little bit so you can take it with your other hand. And then straighten out your right leg again. Arch your back. pull the foot up and away from your body. Break the pose. Pull your heel in towards the seat. Release the foot down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax. Now roll your way up. Standing in the middle of the mat now, facing on the long edge of the mat. Bring your fingertips together at the height of the elbows and jump or walk your feet apart. So you're going to go to the left, so if you lose sight of the screen, you just turn around 180 degrees. Turn to your left. Sink deep into your hips. Be strong and steady like a warrior. Try to get as low as possible. Bring your right arm up to meet the left. Virabhadrasana 1. If you can't turn your hip all the way, you can lift your back heel up. If it's too much, you can bring the right knee down as well. Straight line from the base of the spine right up to the fingertips. The head falls back like you're saying, I'm yours to do your service. Grant me higher devotion. Lower the back knee down, flatten out the toes. Kapayasana again. Rock your shoulders back and forth. Try to get the arms behind your ears. If you know other variations, you can go ahead. You're very flexible. You can try to bring the back foot up. If you're finding it difficult to balance, bring your fingertips to either side of the hips. Push your chest up, lean away from the leg. Drop your head back. Maybe your foot finds your way to the head. You have to imagine you're squeezing the sock behind your knee. Bring the right hand to your back, to your leg. Thumb pressing to the back of the knee. Cup your hand around on the outside of the knee. And then maybe your foot will find the head. Those who can take your hands to your foot as well. Break the pose. So from here, lizard, walk your left foot out more to your left. Scooch your right foot back. Pull the right knee back and then fall to your right. Try to roll to your right to get the right hip, the forearm to come down. Roll to your left. If your hip is very far away from the ground to start, you might not be able to get onto your elbows. It's okay. Just keep on your hands, but keep pushing your hips down towards the ground. Like, think of a cobra pose. When the hips come down, the rest of the body will follow more easily. Those who are flexible, if the hips are down, maybe the belly comes down, eventually the chest comes right down. Your shoulders sitting on the left foot. So here, make sure that your knee's not falling out to the side. It should not look like this, nor should it look like this. So the foot and the heel and the knee in the same line. Good. Telescope your body forward, your trunk out of the hips. Imagine you're a lizard sunning itself on a warm earth. Now coming back, pressing into your hands, bend the toes under. Coming into Ardha Hanumanasana, bring your seat back. So your seat is over the back knee, bring the toes up. And then you can stay here if you like. So you can get your forearms down. Your cheek is resting on the inside of that's the right side of the shin. Your belly's on your thigh. Lift head and chest. Now hinge your seat forward. Walk your hands back a little bit and start to slide your left heel forward. Bend the toes under the back foot and pulse a little bit. So you should have a straight line from the back knee to the front knee. And if you can, eventually you can just keep on pushing out the heels, the front heel and the back toes, the back heel as well actually. And then if you're all the way down, you can settle into pose. You can bring hands in prayer position or maybe right over the head. Hanumanasana, monkey pose. Just imagine or think of all the qualities of Hanuman, the faith above all, anything is possible, the devotion and the courage, embody all those qualities. They're already within. You just need to turn them on. Break the pose, bring the fingertips back down, lean forward, so you bring your left foot back. All right, so from here, make sure the legs are at a right angle, the left leg. So if you have your hands on the hips, if you can bring your foot up easily, this is a good test to show that your legs, you're in the right alignment. If you heel underneath your knee, right arm up, Parivita Parsvakonasana. Go to your left, try to get your armpit to sit on the outside of the knee. Left hand pushes into your right. You can alternatively do a fist. This might give you a little bit more power to bring your push down into your right hand with your left hand and get the belly higher than the thigh. And then you have more room to spin. The center of the chest is coming to your thumbs. You turn your chest and face up towards the sky. Left hip moves back, the top head moves forward. If you want to take a bind, you can push your seat back. Give yourself more space for the right arm to come underneath your leg. Use your left hand to guide with the elbow so the hand goes underneath. Left arm goes over the back. Trap your hands together. And then bring your right knee up off the ground if you like as well. Hold the breath. Tug on the hands. Try to get your left shoulder on top of the right, maybe even further. Eventually your whole chest is facing up. From here, break the pose. Bring the hands back down. Do it this way, as you can see again. Bring them, and then turn towards the long edge of the mat, arms out, and come up again. Go to the other side. Bend the right knee, sink down into the seat. Good. Nice and strong pose here. And then into warrior one. Raise left arm up to meet the right. Again, you can turn the left heel up if you need to. Look up as own offering. Back knee down, flatten up the toes. Kapyasana, rock the shoulders back. Pull the shoulders back behind the ears. Open up. Again, you can do variations if you like. Bring fingertips down on the ground. Use the left hand, push the thumb into the back of the knee. Cup your hand around on the outside knee so you can bring your foot closer to the head. Drop your head back, lean away from the leg. And then from here, you can move your hands one at a time so you don't lose your balance onto the foot. For, as Dharmaji says, professionals. Break the pose. Bring the foot back down. Move the right foot out to the edge of the mat. And see if you can fall to your left. Get your left hip to come down, left forearm if you can. Roll back to the right. And keep on creeping your chest forward. When the hips are down, the rest of the body will come down more easily. Keep telescoping your head and chest forward so that the more you lengthen, the more the body comes closer to the ground. Feel free to rest right on the ground if you are flexible, if your chest is down. Just be like a lizard sunning yourself on a warm earth. Try to imagine where the being is at ease and go to that place. You too may find ease as well. Now come back onto your hands. Again, into Ardha Hanumanasana. Bring your hips over the back heel. And then bow to your leg. Your head coming towards the foot. Lift the toes up and see if you can bring your body down. Chest on the thigh. Imagine again you're trying to get your chest beyond the knee. And if this is easy for you, lift the head back up, bend your toes under on the back foot and start to slide your right foot forward. Keep your hips forward and keep your shoulders in line with your hips if you can. So bounce a little bit. Push through the toes of the back foot and the heel and the right heel as well. Pulse a little bit. Don't go to a place of pain or anxiety or suffering. Again, this is not what you want to transmit. And if you can come all the way down, settle. hands to the heart, or nice variation with the wrists crossed. Pull your shoulders up and then drop them down without dropping your hips, your body into your hips. Arch back. Good, and then coming back up. From here, lean forward. You can slide your right foot in underneath your knee, bend the toes under and the back foot. Again, do the test. Hands on hips. See if you can raise the foot easily. If not, your foot might be a little bit too forward. Okay, so then from here, Parivrtta Parsvakonasana, left arm up, go to the right. So again, try and get your armpit on the outside of the knee, right hand pushes into your left, and push hard into your bottom hand. So the belly comes higher than the thigh to give you clearance to turn a little bit more. Keep on trying to bring the center of the chest to your thumbs, roll the right shoulder all the way back. If you want to take the bind, push the seat back. The elbows close to the front, back of the lower leg so that it has more room to slide underneath. Use your right hand to guide it and then bring your right arm over your back. You can hold the right wrist with your left hand. And if you like, take the back knee up off the ground. Don't go too fast. Don't go too far. Nice and gradually. All the transitions done smoothly, like a shapeshifter moving between the forms. And then release. So from here, come back this way. So from here, let's actually come back into high plank. And then Vasisthasana, move the left hand more towards the right. You can keep your ankles crossed. The right foot can stay in front of the other. A little bit easier. Or if you want, you can stack your feet. Arms in one line, hand to hand. Make sure you don't drop down to the seat. This is going to feel very heavy after a while. Your neck's going to sink into the shoulders, and you won't be able to hold the pose. So keep your hips up, your left arm fully extended, or your supporting arm fully extended. We're going to go to the other side. Again, your left foot can stay in front of the right. Straight arms, push your hips up. So again, not like this. If you need to, you lower the right knee down, just like that. So your hips stay high. Then coming back to plank, lower the knees down. From here, we're going to either sit on our heels, or if you can, sit between your heels. Supta Virasana. So if you're flexible, you can come all the way down onto your back. If not, if you have hip limitations or if it's too much for your knees, you can just walk your hands as far back as possible. You might be sitting on your heels as opposed to in between your heels. Okay, so just do again what's appropriate for you. More flexible, you might be able to come onto your forearms, pull your head back, eventually, like I said, on the ground with your back, and you can take hold of your opposite elbows. This softens the knees. Pull your thighs together if you can. Take a deep breath in. Inflate the lungs, raise the chest, exhale, feel the whole back body sagging down heavily into the ground. Now bring your hands to your feet, push into the soles of your feet, tuck your chin in, push into your elbows to come up, and then come back up. One more round of Vasisthasana. Start in plank, but then maybe move into downward facing dog if you want to do the more advanced variations. Alright, so from here, from downward facing dog, move your left hand more towards the right, come into Vasisthasana as you normally would, but then slide the right toes back alongside the left knee. Push your hips all the way up, as though you're trying to push the floor away from you with your left hand. Get your hip as though you're trying to get over the foot. And then the left foot is at 45 degrees, not 90 degrees. The foot following roughly, the toes following the same line as the rest of your leg. Then if you anchor down to the inside of the left foot, you'll be able to take the right knee up more easily. Catch the knee, maybe even catch the foot. Push your hips up. And then you turn, bring your right foot back down, spin on the heel of the palm, come back to plank, and then go on the other side. Move into downward facing dog, right hand moves to your left, and then continue to move fluidly. Left toes slide back so your hips don't have a chance to fall. Make sure your foot again's not 90 degrees. Turn the foot a little bit so the toes are roughly following the same line as the rest of the leg. Anchor the inside edge of the foot down, and then you'll be able to take your left knee up more easily. Okay, so even if you can't keep it up, just practice getting your weight up off your left foot. Catch the knee or catch the foot eventually. Push your hips up. Push through the base of the big toe with the right foot. Break the pose. Come back the same way as you entered. Lower the knees down and then come into child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out all fatigue. And then roll up. Remember, the practice is an ideal balance between the strength, the drive, the effort, and the softness and surrender. They all have a place, they all have a purpose. Headstand now, king of the postures. If you know what you're doing, go ahead. If you need some guidance, if you're very uncomfortable coming up too much, you can just bring your forehead in front of your knees and just lift your seat up. Try to get your hips over your knees. Imagine you're pushing your belly button through the back of the body. The heart's right between your shoulder blades. If it's too much pressure on the back of the head, just move your head forward a little bit. Okay, so if you want to go further, you can maybe come into tripod, into teddy bear. So your fingers just align with your knees. I like to tent my hands, come onto fingertips. You have lots of power in your hands when you do this. When you're pushing through the fingertips, don't flatten your palms down. Lift your palms. Walk your feet closer until your seat is directly over your shoulders, and then rest just underneath the knees against your elbows. Push into your fingertips, hold the breath, so you can pull your toes away from the ground. You're already in the headstand of sorts. If you want, you can eventually bring your feet up, move your knees in a little bit closer. Next step, bring the right leg back behind. Allow the foot to hang heavily towards the seat behind you. Flex your foot to keep your leg engaged. And then you can pulse up and down, up off the heel. Move your hands a little bit wider. Make sure they're not beside your head and your fingers are facing away from you. Your fingers are facing away. Bring your hands further apart. This gives you more balance with your nice triangular wide base. Okay, eventually be able to, if you keep pushing through the back foot, you'll eventually get your legs on the same line. This is good if your back tends to hunch. If you don't have a lot of hip flexibility, sometimes your back hunches. In other variations of headstand. With this, you're wide open and you allow yourself a little bit more ability to have your hips over your shoulders. More advanced practitioners, do whatever you want. Come onto your fingertips if you like. Maybe just on the index finger, maybe eventually just on a fingernail. You can also just try to practice taking your hands up off the mat, hold your breath, even just one hand. Okay, so just again, do according to your abilities. Just like that, just nice and slow. No jerky movements, no fast, hard, aggressive movements. And now coming back down. Come into child's pose, breathe in. Breathe out all fatigue. plow. Reach your hands in front from child's pose. Slide forward into cobra. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then from here, a few different entries. So you can either just bring your legs through in between. Actually, let's do this. So let's lift the heels. We'll do it all together. Jump your feet forward, come into a squat. Bring your shoulders back, lift your heels as high as you can. Push into reach your toes, shoulders back as though you have your back against the wall. Lower down slowly with control. Once your feet are on the heels, tuck your chin in, and then from here, roll all the way back. So from here, move your shoulders a little bit in, a little bit more behind your back. Try to get your hands together. And when your hands are together, your elbows come closer together. This gives you better alignment when you come up. Your hands come onto your back. Come up one leg at a time. Stretch the right foot straight up as if you're trying to touch the ceiling with your foot. And then bring the other leg to meet it. Legs are nice and straight here. If your elbows aren't completely behind your back and you need to keep your legs a little bit at an angle, that's okay too. If you need to just stay in easy plow, you can. Just keep your hands on your back, your knees close to your shoulders, your feet hovering maybe just above the ground. Okay, so bit by bit you build the strength to come up. If you have a lotus, go ahead. Make the mind more one-pointed with your lotus. Also try to push into your thighs. If you're in lotus, try to get your knees higher than the hips so it doesn't look like plow pose. Your knees trying to aim again nice and high. Settle your mind into stillness. Nothing to do. Nowhere to go but deeper within, beyond the body, the mind, and the emotions. None of these are you. Now, if you're in lotus, you can keep your lotus, come into Pindasana. Your thighs come against your body. If you can wrap your arms around the outside of the legs, join your hands underneath the seat, and stay there. If you don't have a lotus, come into plow pose again. Bring your feet behind your head, on the ground if you can. If they don't come down, just keep your hands on the back to support you. You can also bring your knees down on either side of the head, your thighs against the body, Karna Pidasana. Keeping your seat over the heels. Now those who know the variations, you can go ahead. You might be able to walk your feet all the way over to your left. Bring your knee down right on the outside of the shoulder and bring your right knee down. And then come back to the center. Go to the other side. Walk your feet around over to the right. Drop your right knee down beside your right shoulder and take your left knee down as well. If you want to go further, once your left knee comes down, push into the back of the head, left shoulder, and roll right up into camel. Push your hips forward, hands on the feet. Don't stay in camel. Just come right back. Tuck your chin in. Make your way to hare pose. See your shoulder, left shoulder comes down in front of your left knee. You have to push into the top of the shoulder and then come back into plow. Go right to the other side. Your knees come down to the right. As soon as the right knee comes down, push into the back of the head on the right side. Roll up. Into camel again. And then right back down. Tuck your chin in, into hare pose, top head comes to the ground, right shoulder in front of the right knee. And then push right back into the plow. Good. So from here, everybody needs some plow. And then roll, start to make your way out. Hands behind the back, palms down, index fingers and thumbs touching, and start to bring your legs down. Once your seat lands on your hands, keep bringing your legs down until about 45 degrees, height, angle, and then bring your back up off the ground. Bring your elbows in close, tuck your chin, push your chest up, and bring the head back. Fish pose. You can bring your legs down all the way to the ground if you need to. Now breathe very fast and nose like a sniffing dog. So, keep going. So you're either like this with your head down or your legs up. Bring your feet close to your seat. Take your hands out from underneath. This is an option. You can do bridge pose. So in bridge pose, your head's flat on the ground, the back of the head. You lift your chest up, and you just press into your shoulders. This is bridge pose. If you had your head on the ground, you lift your seat up, and then slide onto your top of the head. Turn your hands around so the fingers are facing towards the feet. You can stay here or lift your head up off the ground, Urdhva Dhanurasana. Then here you can play a little bit. Rock back and forth, try to get your chest in front of your arms. Try to straighten your arms and the legs. Good, beautiful, the mother of all poses. Takes determination and stamina. Come back down. Bring the top of the head back down. Relax. Breathe in. Breathe out. Remove all fatigue. And now from here, we're going to sit up. Arms over the head. Come to seated position. Kurmasana. So we're going to open up the feet. About just so the feet are on the edge of the mat, roughly the toes are facing up. Slide your arms underneath. Take hold of the heels, push the elbows out to the side. Try to get your belly down between your thighs. Keep moving your head forward to keep your spine long, keep your attention to the base of the spine. Now you can either stay here if you're very flexible, you know the full pose. Kurmasana, go ahead. You bring arms behind your back, your legs coming down onto your arms, close to the shoulders. If you're close to the elbows, it's going to be not very comfortable. So try to bring your feet in closer to the full pose. Not much more than shoulder width apart. Those you have the ability, if your elbows are free, you can also bind your hands over your back. Now slow down the breath, be like a tortoise, just settling into a rest. Everybody has a finite amount of breaths according to their conditions. So if you make those breaths last long, you too will live long. Now break the pose, coming back out to the pose. Let's do bench pose. Bring your hands behind your back, bring your feet in a little bit, 10 inches apart, your hands 10 inches apart, your toes and your fingers are angled out. Then throw your hips up if you can. If it's too much on your wrist, you can keep your seat on the ground. Push your chest up and bring your head back. Otherwise, throw your hips up, chest higher than the shoulders, allow the head to go back. Breathe very fast through the nose. Lower your seat back down. So from here, roll back again into cloud pose and push your hands down and draw your seat down again towards the ground. Separate your feet, coming to half baby pose. Take hold of the edges of your feet and then just rock from side to side a little bit. And then take your hands the inside, Those who are flexible can keep your hands on the heels, the inside the heels. Try to get your toes to the ground and line through shoulders again. Don't force, don't go too hard, too fast. Be mindful. If it's too much to keep your hands on your heels and your knees bend a lot, just bring your hands to the inside of the shins or the thighs even. So if you're from there, you can bend your knees again. Take hands to the inside. Wrap your arms around. Some of you might be able to get your shoulders, the backs of your arms onto the backs of the legs. You slip your arms from the inside and around so you can hold the other edges of the feet. You can stay here, or you can try to move towards getting your feet behind your head. You lift your seat up a little bit, not all the way so you're going to plow, but as though you're going to plow. Fork your thumb and your index finger on the around the heel. Pull the feet as far back behind your head as possible. And then use your shoulders to move your legs back. You have to shimmy a little bit. Then you might be able to cross your ankles. Pull your feet back. As you can. And eventually get your head in front of your feet. So again, do it mindfully. You can always stay in happy baby pose. It's not about attaining the postures. It's about trying to imagine yourself in the form, merging with the form, and just doing the best you can. Even if you don't get into the form, if you imagine yourself in the form and merge with it and see the divine in it, then you're still deriving much benefit from it. Now release. Bring your feet back down. Rest in Shavasana. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, remove all fatigue. Soften everything. And now arms over the head. Sit back up. And come onto your belly. To bend the back the other way. So moving your spine in different ways. Keep it supple and strong. Start off with Cobra. Hands behind, underneath your shoulders. Push into your hands and start to lift up. You can start slow, baby Cobra. You can even start in Sphinx. Hold the front edges of the mat and pull on the mat. Bring your shoulders back, the head, and then bring the head up. As you get more comfortable, you can lift your elbows up off the mat. Bring your head back. Make sure you don't jam up your neck. Keep your shoulders down, your chest wide. And eventually you can scoot your hands closer in. One at a time. And then press. Get your head back. Get a little bit more extension. Keep pushing your chest forward, away from your seat, so you don't crunch your lower back. Again. Come up a little bit higher. Move your hands in a little bit closer. Keep reminding yourself to pull your shoulders down so you don't lose your neck. Your feet together like a tail of a snake. Maybe stay one more breath, one more time. Come up a little bit higher. And then slowly lower yourself down. Forehead on the hands. Breathe in. Breathe out. Dhanurasana. Take your right arm in front of your chest. Bring your left foot up. Take hold of the foot ankle and then pull your foot up and keep pushing your foot into your hand away from your body, and then bend your other leg up, and then might be able to take your other foot up more easily. And then use your legs to pull yourself up. So if you can also keep your knees on the ground, flex your feet. Push your feet away from your seat, bring your chest forward. Eventually, if you keep pulling your feet, you might be able to get higher and higher. Eventually, maybe if you look up, you'll see your toes. Rock a little bit if you like on your belly. Hold the pose. Sometimes Dharma likes to say, hold the pose until you shake. So practice fortitude. Learn to control the mind, keep the mind calm no matter what you're passing through, physical, mental, or emotional experiences. Remain unchanged like the true self that's within. And then break the pose. Rest. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, now bring your getting ready for camel pose now. So stand on your knees. Standing on your knees now. We'll start with rabbit pose. It's the same pose as bow pose essentially, but you're in other orientation. Bend the toes under. You can keep your hands on the seat, push into your seat, pull down, and lift the chest. Try to bring your elbows towards one another. Push your hips forward. Now this is where you might, if you're already at your edge, you stay there. Otherwise, lean back a little bit, push into your toes. Your shoulders come behind your feet. Bring right hand to right heel, left hand to left heel. Turn your hands so your thumb and index fingers are holding the heel, and lock your baby fingers together. And then push your hips all the way forward as though you're about to fall on your thighs. Lift your chest, bring your head all the way back. Your chest is the highest point on your body. And then come back, bring your shoulders back behind your feet, one hand on the seat at a time, and come back up. Good. From here, hands on the ground, cat pose. Inhale, arch back. Exhale, round the back. Good. Now, flatten out the toes. Next progression, camel, or you do the same one as you did. With your toes bent under, you have your feet a little bit higher. You might be able to take your feet a little bit easier. More flexible, bring your hands on a seat, lean back. Get your right hand on the right foot, on the sole of the foot, left hand, heel to palm on the heel. And then lift your head, bring your seat, your hips directly over the knees. Allow the head to hang back. Be more flexible. If you know Kapotasana, you can go ahead. So you can bring one arm up. Hold your breath, anchor down to the shins, other arm up. And then reach back. You can even take hold of the edges of your mat and pull on the mat. If you can, eventually you bring your hands on the ground. And then you start to walk your fingers towards the toes. You might be able to get your head to the ground. Very flexible. You might be able to eventually bring your feet, your hands onto your heels, and bring your head between your feet. Again, according to your abilities. Break the pose. You need to come right down onto your back from here. Place your hands down and lower yourself down as you would at a bridge or Urdhva Dhanurasana. If you're stronger, tent your hands, come off your fingertips, hold the breath, anchor down to the shins, and you might be able to come right back up. Okay, so now sit on your heels. Last one, forearm balance. So you can practice with a chair or wall if you like. The arms, you want to have your elbows a little bit closer in towards the shoulders, your fingers spread evenly. Can even bring your thumbs together. So you make sure your elbows don't go out to side, because the more they slip out, the more you sink down, and then you won't be able to hold the pose for very long. So you imagine, if you want, you can do it against a wall, or do it from a chair. You bring your seat all the way back, like you're in child's pose, your elbows underneath your shoulders, bring your hands forward, and then you lift your seat, bring one foot on the seat of the chair or on the wall, and then allow the other foot to go back behind you. The foot hanging close to your head. Flex your foot to keep your leg engaged, and then eventually maybe you can pull your toes away from the seat or the wall. You bend your toes back. Make sure you're not too far away so you don't have to reach for the wall.
You should be able to bend your knees while having one foot on the wall. So you give yourself a little bit of play, and then you just pull your toes away from the wall of the seat. Okay, if you're more advanced, you can do other variations. You can bring your legs up. You can bend your knees. If you're trying for scorpion, push one foot into the other. Try to get your toes to your head, or take your foot, one foot pressing into your thigh to guide the foot down. If you push into your thigh, your foot will come down lower. Lots of different options here. Good, so just practice. With repetition comes ease. 30 more seconds. Can't hold the pose. Oops. Enough. All right. Now break the pose, coming back down into child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out all fatigue. Then roll your way up. Good. Okay, so now from here, bring your legs out in front. So Urdhva Dhanurasana, one more. So, mother of all poses again. You can do it from your back if you're more flexible, you're more able-bodied, you can do it from standing. So if you're doing it from standing, go ahead. Otherwise, your feet, outer edges of the feet in line with the hips. Bring your fingertips on either side of the head. Lift your seat, your back up off the ground. Your seat comes up. Push with your fingertips and slide your head back behind your hands. Turn your hands around, fingers facing towards the heels, a little bit turned out. Spread your fingers. And then, if you can, lift your head up off the ground. Okay, so try to get nice and open to the chest here. Now from here, other entry methods. For those who are more advanced, you can do it from standing. Open up your feet a little bit more. You can also do it against the wall as you're starting. So to go all the way down is a little bit challenging at first. So you bring your hands to the wall and you walk your way down the wall. You open up your feet quite wide. Your toes are pointing out. Same way as you would for easy Chakasana. Bend your knees. Bring your hands on your seat. And allow the head to go back. When you can see the floor behind you, you can come down one hand at a time. Okay, and then into the pose. Come back up, come onto your fingertips. You have to push your hips forward a little bit so you can get your right hand on the right knee, left hand on the left knee, push into the knee and walk your way back up. So little steps at a time. Eventually you'll be able to come into the pose right from standing. Hips forward, bend your knees quite a bit so that your head is closer to the ground when you come down. Okay, always with control. Come back up. All right. So let's do one more entry. Other ways to get into it. If you know how to get into handstand and flip into it. This is what Dharma likes to teach too. You can just press up, push into your hands, and try to land your feet down. So just be careful. Try not to jump too fast. So push into your hands, and then come back. And now come back down onto the ground. Relax. Not Shavasana yet, but just for a moment, allow your body to go to sleep. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, imagine you're fainting. Let go of all fatigue. Now come up to seated any which way you like. And then from here, Adho Matsyendrasana. Left leg extends, right leg on the other side of the leg close, somewhere between the heel, the knee and the ankle. The right hand behind the back, left arm up, inhale, reach up. Go to the right, push the lower back up and in, and then keep turning towards the right. Make sure you're not leaning back. Your hand should be close to your seat. So it should not be looking like this. Okay, this is not a twist. Nothing's happening here. You have to have your hand close to your seat so your body stays upright. Push the lower back up and in. Charge the left leg. And then turn. Imagine trying to pull the knee beyond the edge of the body. Revolve around your arm. Keep the neck extending out of the shoulders. Good. Now from here, if you like, bring the right foot back on the inside, bring the left knee and left knee up as well. And then place your hands beside, your right hand is beside your hip, your left hand is on the outside, just beside it. Okay, so coming into side crow if you like. So you bring your left arm down on the outside of the knee as well, and then from here, you can pull your elbow in, right elbow in towards the hip, lean forward. You can even bring your head down and see if you can get your legs to sit on your arm. Eventually be able to get your head up off the ground, and if you want, you can extend your left leg up and back. Come right back down. As Dharmaji says, not important. Bring the legs out again. Right leg extends, left leg on the outside of the right leg, right arm up. Go to the left. Push the lower back up and in. Lift through the heart. Turn to your left. Make sure the right leg is active. Feel the twist originating from the very low in the body in the hips. And feel, imagine you can see right through the spine, the spiraling action. This might allow you to twist a little bit deeper. Now look forward again. If you want to try the side crow, move the left foot on the inside of the right leg. The right foot comes beside. Left hand stays close to your seat. Right arm goes the other side again. Hands down, and then pull the elbow, left elbow right into the hip, just above the hip. You have to bring your body level with the ground so that your legs can sit on the arm easily. If again you want, you can bring your left side of the head down. You can stay here, or you can extend your left leg and raise your right leg up and extend the right leg as well, with or without your head on the ground. And then come back down. Good. So now, just one more twist here. If you can, you can come into lotus or Ardha Matsyendrasana. If you're doing Ardha Matsyendrasana, your forward pose, your left leg folds under, your right foot on the outside of the knee. If you're doing lotus, your right leg goes on top. And then you reach behind your back, take hold of the right foot if you're doing a lotus, and your left fist, back fist, comes against the outside of the knee. Inhale, lift through the chest. Exhale, turn to the right. You can step on your back of the hand with your left knee, if your right knee, if you like. Inhale, lift the shoulders up, lift the back up straight. Exhale, turn to the right. Actually, another variation here. If you don't have a lotus, you can do half lotus, or just have your legs crossed, your left foot in front, the toes at the knee. So you can do this way as well. This might be a better approximation actually. Left hand again, back the fist pressing into the back, outside the knee. And then return, switch your legs around. The right heel on the inside, the left foot on the outside, the toes at the knee, or with your full lotus, with your left foot on top. Lean to your left, bring your left arm around the back, use your right hand to guide the hand to the foot, and then you can step on your hand again, the back hand with the right knee. Inhale, pull the left shoulder back. Turn to your left. Break the pose, lie on the back. Make your way down gently, softly, no big heavy thuds on the ground. And prepare to receive all the benefits of the practice. Imagine you went completely unconscious. There are impurities at all levels. So through Shavasana, we help to release some of those impurities. On the physical level, the impurities may manifest in the sensation of tightness, of restriction, of blockage, in the muscles and the organs or otherwise. As you inhale, imagine being flooded by the best of the best, all the purifying agents coming in through the pores of the skin and in penetrating all those areas of impurities. Exhale, imagine them just cutting and destroying all those impurities apart. From a mental level, the impurities reside in a form of ignorance of all those thoughts that cause us to not recognize our true nature, to identify just with the body and mind, which is not us, not our true nature. It's all those thoughts that we cling to, those impressions that form, that prevent us from considering other perspectives, other experiences that are equally as valid, not getting stuck in our own minds, our own thoughts. So as you inhale, imagine the best coming in again and just penetrating into all those impressions and thoughts in our minds that cause us to stray from what our true self is and to recognize our true self for what it is. On a spiritual level, it's all those tendencies and behaviors that cause us to stray from the ethical rules and from those purifying techniques to clean up the comportment and to not see others as divine beings. So inhale, imagine again those purifying forces coming in, the best coming in to the body and destroying all those tendencies. Make an intention of trying to act in a way that preserves the comfort of all beings. Say to yourself the following sentence 3 times. I see divinity in all beings. When you see God in all beings, it becomes unthinkable to want to do harm to any being. So stay in that mindset. And carry it out into your day-to-day life in all your interactions. Prepare now to sit, coming back slowly, thoughtfully. Become aware again of your physical form, your fingers, your toes, your arms, your limbs, the vital forces that animate the body, your face.
your breath. And then in the most gentle way possible, the most reverent way possible, and quiet way possible, come back to seated position. We'll close the practice with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Instill the peace within and send it out to all beings everywhere. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Be receptive to the grace of God. All is within. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining. Have a wonderful day. Much love. Until next time.